In this video, I'll be philosophizing on cultivating originality within one's writing, engaging the value of originality as one think more clearly in terms of the meanings one wants to communicate clearly on, improving the effectivenesses and or efficiencies as one deliberates over the intercategorical and or intracategorical effectivenesses and or efficiencies to improve one's creativity and thinking between the gaps in meaningful information within the unknowns as one draws from certain existing priors to connect distant thoughts in relation to the meaningful communications one can improve effectivenesses and or efficiencies existing within and or between the distinct analytic terms one is communicating, key points, not some key term per se, yet key terms exist within the key points, engaging the cultivation of originality with communications in complete sentences and or complete meaningful utterances of thought one is communicating within writing, deriving the original ideas from inferences into the audience one is communicating to, be it one is engaging in creative journaling. The audience is always the self in relation to one's own private, internalized introspections, communicating for often one's own satisfaction of certain underlying psychological needs related to the existential needs for meaning in life amongst uniqueness, cultivating the individual autonomy of an individual in association to the free agent engaging the thought process one means more deliberately, cultivating originality within the communications within a free-flowing, deliberate evaluation, often existing prior brainstorming distinct meaningful similarities in terms of one's prior existing meaningful communications, yet originality cultivates newness in relation to the direction of desired meaningful effect one is communicating on, allowing for the values one values in terms of one's direct perception, perceiving the meaningfulness within combination of the existent component parts and processes to one's being more in relation to the meaningful mind-body connections, solidifying distinctive subjectivo-objectivo relationships within one's meaningful communications, often to the self, engaged in creative journaling and cultivation of originality, to communicate the original thinking with original instantiations. Meaningful only as it concerns the soundness to the communication, meaning that the communication should be coherent as to mean it makes sense, yet also communicate the internal and or external validity to meaningfully communicate and satisfy certain existing psychological needs, never non-existing, and or some meaningful psychological needs, not the meaningless psychological needs, as to satisfy the criteria more meaningful to work in association to the desired direction of desired meaningful effect one is cultivating in relation to one's self-communications. That's all I want to say for this video. Hope you have it. Also want to keep looking at this episode.